Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Unknown Tavern. I'm with a special guest today, Mr. Allen of not one project, two projects, and he has a studio as well. So, Mr. Allen, the seat is yours. Please say hello.
Hi, Sky. Hi, everyone. How are you? Well, thanks for inviting me to your first interview with Dungeons in the Scene.
Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. I feel like our scene is missing a YouTube channel basically. I think we have one for our music, but we don't have one where the artists talk about the music. So you sent me your music, Seven Black Books. Hopefully I said it right. Um, the Sorcerer's Path was the album you sent me, and it was phenomenal. I loved it. Um, it even my wife listened to some of it, and she was like, "That's good." So I'm like, "Yes, all right, good,
Perfect, perfect.
finally."
Very good.
So, Alan, tell me a little bit about how you started on your path with Dungeon Synth.
Well, first of all, I started making music, playing drums at 10 years old. And when I was 16, I had a death metal band, which was kind of melodic death metal, something like At the Gates, more or
Nice.
less. But mix it with metalcore, which was the trend. I'm talking about 2008, 2009, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know why my father had a DVD of the software Reason. I don't know why I installed it in my computer because I didn't know what the hell was that program. So I installed it and hey, I can make weird sounds with this. So I started playing with weird sounds and make some kind of ambient soundscapes and some weird noises, arpeggiated synthesizers. I don't know how to call it, but um, in 2012, I made the second track of the Sorcerer's Path, Enter the Ruins. It's from that date, so I don't know. Maybe I was experimenting with some of Proto Dungeon Synth, but I didn't know that that thing existed. In fact, the term Dungeon Synth was from 2011 or something like that. Before
I think
that,
so.
people call it dark dungeon music, but we in my country nobody knows. Nobody knew about that. The only thing we knew in that time was dark ambient. We all of that kind of dark music was dark ambient for us. Like if it's a track of I don't know 10 minutes of weird noises, dark ambient, and that's it. Um, so the band split up. I left the drums and started playing guitar at my home, just because. But I always never leave the reason playing and experimenting. So I don't know. I had a couple of demos, but nothing too serious until 2018. That year, Mortis came to Argentina for the first time.
Wow.
Uh, and well, I went there, and when you're watching something that you never experienced before,
Hmm.
like there's a guy who's not talking with anybody, a guy with a mask playing his synthesizers and making a soundscape. It's not a guitars and a singer singing his songs. It's something totally different. So that same night, I came home, totally mind blown, and started writing the Sorcerer's Path, the song. That's how it started. Basically, after that concert.
Nice. It seems like Mortis is kind of like a gateway drug for all of us that are in the Dungeon Synth community. It's either
I think
him. Go ahead.
yeah, I think it's because of black metal. Because I don't know. I um it took its time to for me to be into black metal, but there was one band that I really liked that was Emperor. I really liked that band, and thanks to Emperor, I realized Mortis existed, and listening to his music, it was, hey, this is so different, but I like it. I don't know what it is, but I like it. I think at least here, most people started the same way because it was the only thing we can listen to.
I agree. Actually, my first introduction to Dungeon Synth was actually I was at a record store and I saw a cover of Mortis's Stargate, I
Yeah.
believe it was,
Yeah. The yeah.
with the wings, and I was like,
It's
"Is this black metal?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll buy it." You know, it was on sale. I took it, went home, and I've heard, like you, I listen to dark ambient sometimes, but this was more, had much more orchestral arrangements to it. It was like a film soundtrack, and it just blew me away that, one person can captivate so much energy and just imagination into that project. The same way I feel about your project with your music, it's like a cinematic journey, which, thank you for making it. I really appreciate you as an artist. Thank you.
thank you for your words.
It's no
But yeah,
problem.
that was the intention of the music. Make something to tell a story with sounds like I don't know. I think on my music as a storytelling. Uh, that's why it has cinematic sounds, or it has this path, this line of storytelling.
That's nice. That's nice. Um, that's really cool. And that's why I think that's a huge thing for Dungeon Synth is all of us are trying to tell a different story. Um, and like I said, I loved your story. Um, so yeah, yeah, sorry. Get a little nervous doing this sometimes, man. Now, what was your, I know you said Mortis was a huge inspiration for you. Did you have any other type of inspirations when you were walking this path?
Yeah, Ennio Morricone and Giorgio Moroder. I'm a huge fan of the music and the films. I'm a huge fan of Midnight Express, the film.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of that movie, and the soundtracks of the 80s really uh, captivated me. I said it correct? Captivated.
Captivated. Yeah.
Perfect. Um, so I listen to that kind of music a lot. So that's one of my influences. As I don't know other bands like Pink Floyd. I'm a huge
Hey,
Pink Floyd fan. Is one of my first bands. I think I started listening to Pink Floyd thanks to my father. At 6 years old, uh, even I saw The Wall at 8 years old. I didn't understand anything, but I like it because that's that was the weirdest thing I saw at that age. But yeah, it make a huge influence. Rick Wright was an amazing songwriter, and his works with the keyboard were mind blowing to me.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree. Um, so you mentioned, black metal, and of course, Dungeon Synth has huge ties with black metal. And you mentioned Emperor, which one of my favorite black metal bands besides Dark Throne. Um, and so we know that. Can you explain a little bit about the Sorcerer's Path album? What kind of concept was in your mind when you were creating it?
Well, the concept was born after hours and hours and hours of me playing Skyrim. Is one of my favorite games, and in fact, Seven Black Books comes from the lore of Skyrim. Um,
Awesome game,
like
people.
I wanted to make something that I I I was thinking on something not too obvious because I didn't want to make another soundtrack for Skyrim, or that people think, hey, this is Skyrim or Elder Scrolls inspired music. No, if if you can think a little bit, maybe you can realize that Seven Black Books comes from that lore, but I didn't want to make it too obvious. But basically, it was the hours and hours I spent on that game and the stories I tried to recreate and reimagine with music, like entering on a cave, or a dungeon, or no, I don't know, seeking from a sacred weapon or something like that, but trying to reimagine that to make it not too obvious. So yeah, it's something I do quite often. The things that I experience, trying to reimagine and write stories in my head, and then trying to express them with music. That's the way
Nice.
I try to create music in general.
Uh, you mentioned, I mean, Skyrim. Come on, we've all spent I don't know how many hours playing Skyrim. It's. I still like to go back and play it.
Yeah, yeah, I
If
have installed it in my computer too.
see, I need to do that. I need to do that. But then I guess I might get in trouble. Be like, you're always on the computer. Well, it's a great game. I'm sorry. Maybe you should play too. Now, um, tell me about now. You're in another. You have another project as well.
Mm.
Can you elaborate on that one as well?
Yeah, Buket. Um,
I'm glad you said it because there's no way I could have said it.
oh, it's weird. If you want, I can tell you the story of that name.
Sure.
It was a typing mistake at my office job.
Oh, okay.
I I work at a law firm. I'm not a lawyer, but I work at a law firm. I was saving a PDF file with the last name Villegas, which is Villegas, and I don't watch at the screen or the keyboard when I write. I'm looking at the documents and trying to write, but I realized I write it wrong. So I look at the screen and I read Buquegas, and it was funny, weird. I will save it in my phone. I know someday this could help with anything. So, what's the problem with Seven Black Books? Problem. Um, the thing with Seven Black Books is takes a lot of time because I think of that on that project with an orchestral approach. I try to make an orchestral approach and trying to make arrangements thinking on an orchestra, and that's too difficult and takes a lot of time. So I needed something more raw, and something more visceral, uh and that was the thing. Cryptadel, a project from here, was making a compilation, an Argentinian compilation. Well, I put a song into the compilation, but I talked with him and told him, "Hey, I want to make another song." So I was like, "Well, I'm gonna create Bouquet." and started writing. And the thing is, it's easier to me to make music with bouquet than Seven Black Books. That's why that's why I have more bouquet releases than Seven Black Books. Just for that, because it's easier for me. In fact, it's kind of a challenge for me because the I released three singles. Um, all those three singles were made it in one day.
Wow.
Like, hey, I want to make a track. So I called my friends Nicolás Insaurralde and Gabriel Villalba, which are the illustrator of all the bouquet releases, and Gabriel is the designer who made the layouts and stuff. So I called them and, hey, can you work tonight? Yeah, sure. What's in your mind? I have this concept. Well, let's work. And we spent the whole day making me the music, Nicolas the illustration, and then Gabriel making the layout for the artwork. Um, so well, it's a challenge against procrastination because it's very present in my life. So that's it. The thing is, I can make more music without thinking too much on arrangement or sophisticated things. And that's why I have a side project because it has nothing. It's not too similar to Seven Black Books, so I don't want it to release it at Seven Black Books because it's something different.
Right.
Think it the arrangements in a different way. I'm trying to make as polished as possible. And with bouquet, if I made a mistake or something sounding weird, I don't care because the approach is totally different.
I like that. I like that. I like how you separate your projects, but yet you still pour the same amount of passion into both. So I like that a lot. It's almost like playing two different characters in Skyrim. You know, you got your wizard that you're mostly, but then you got your like straight up barbarian fighter guy where it's just hack and slash.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
like that a lot.
exactly.
That's really cool. Um, Tell me a little bit about Arcanium Studio. You own your own studio, man. I mean,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
jealous.
yeah. Well, I broke my leg during the pandemics,
Oof,
so
sorry.
no, I'm okay. Right now, I'm okay with that. Um, but that helped me to finish my album, The Sorcerer's Path, because I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure if I will release it because blah 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 shitty stuff that someone says to yourself to I don't know, procrastinating things.
Right.
Um, but well, broken leg. I was locked down in my house. We didn't know what the hell was going on in the world, so I started to think, okay, I will finish this shit because I'm driving nuts. So I finished the album. I learned a lot of music production during that moment. So my practices on mixing and mastering were into that album. Cryptadel, which is a very close friend of mine, he lives in the same city as myself. Heard the album and he told me, "Hey, I really liked how it sounds. Can you do it in my next album?" Yeah, sure. Why not? So I mixed and mastered his album Brutal Imperium, which was released by Gondolin Records in 2022.
Okay.
Um, then from mouth to mouth, I worked with another Cryptadel release, but it was a split. He made with Lord Bacartia and Cool from Spain, both projects from Spain. It was a split dedicated to the Dark Souls lore, which
Nice.
was kind of cool. Um, and then, well, I I didn't want to, or I didn't think on make a service or working on this. It was more like, well, it's I'm doing this for fun and for my friends. But then some projects started to talking to me and asking me for services, and was like, well, let's start to work. I remastered the Silvana Massa project, the illustrator, the Chilean illustrator.
Hmm.
She has a project which is called Spiritar. I remastered her last album. Then I worked with Atlantean Sword, with Stoneflower, Space Seer. I don't want to um forget any name, but I
That's it.
started
Yeah,
working with I started working with several projects from the Dungeon Synth scene. Was kind of I never imagined that this could happen. Really, working with people like Atlantean Sword, which is one of the most successful new projects. Well, I mastered his albums from Atlantean Sword and from side projects from him, which are Snowspell and Paladin. They're two
nice.
projects that are from him. Uh, so well, I'm trying to make it more professional. So I'm trying to work on my environment and trying to buy some acoustic stuff to, I don't know, like acoustic treatment for my space. But well, I don't know. Maybe someday I can start working full time on this.
That would be awesome. Actually, that would definitely be awesome. And I hope that for you. You ever thought about maybe even starting a record label at some point?
It's kind of difficult here because we're too far from everything, and everything is expensive for us. Um, I don't know, making a an album and release it here may cost a minimum salary, so
Wow.
it's impossible for us. I mean,
Wow.
it's not impossible, but it's very difficult, and the shipments are too way expensive,
Yeah.
too expensive, too expensive. So, but but the thing we can do here is maybe yeah, create community and trying to make some noise to some labels can release our stuff. Well, out of season released the Sorcerer's Path.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened. I mean, I know how it happened, but it was like I never imagined that some label like that could be interested in releasing my music because nobody knew me at that time. But well, sometimes big things happen.
So, how what do you think is the best thing about our scene, and what is one negative thing about our scene?
Well, I think the best part of our scene is the community. I know I used that word many times in this interview, but I think it's the most important thing. Um, I I don't know any other scene that has this thing of I don't know how to say in English, but this kind of friendship between each other. Like
Right.
there's a lot of people that I don't know personally. The most people from the scene I don't know them personally, but there's this nerdy thing of the dungeon scene that can make us friends, and and then we realize we have so much in common, so you can create a true friendship between us. So I think that that's one of the coolest things of Dungeon Synth. Um, on the other hand, I don't know. There's maybe Dungeon Synth is kind of a trend right now, or it's I don't want to think. I don't want to say the things in the wrong way, but suddenly there's a lot of projects. It's impossible to hear them all, and that can make that some people then that don't understand how we manage our little world, um, and try to make their own rules, um, and that can make things a little I don't know, a little harsh. I think that that's something I am just looking uh in the last times. Like the scene got super big, and there's people that, as I said, don't understand how this works. I mean, it's not that we have a constitution that or laws, but we have like some codes between us uh, that we want to, I don't know, we want to new people to we want to new people get into the scene, but maybe there's people that want to write their own rules, and we are not so many people in the scene. We know each other.
Right.
If someone fucked up, we're gonna realize very soon about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, no,
so
I definitely agree because the thing with the scene is it's exploded. It's gotten bigger and it's getting bigger. We have festivals that are pure Dungeon Synth. We've got all these great outlets, but um, we are one of the most welcoming communities as far as any music genre goes. You
mhm,
know, and if you're interested in making the music, there's countless projects, countless artists that will, help you, even guide you step by step or things like that. I'm speaking from experience. I've had to ask several times about how do I do this? I only have this, I only have that. And sometimes you get really great reactions, and sometimes you get some negative reactions. Or like, oh, why are you doing this music? Well, people like that is what kind of just, I'm like, we don't need that in our scene or our
mm,
community. You know, jog off, as I like to say usually to people like that. But the cool thing about our scene is you're right. It's so tight knit. It's almost like being in a guild itself.
yeah,
Like no matter what country goes, you're gonna meet somebody or where they're from, and then like you said, you develop a friendship. You guys start talking more. You start trading music, and next thing you know, compilations and splits and all this great things just happens all together, and it's so fluid. So that's the thing I love about it the most.
mm,
Um,
I agree.
Now, what's the future hold for you musically? Are you working on another album for
Mm.
Seven Black Books?
Yeah, I'm making the next Seven Black Books album. I'm listening to a lot of neoclassical dark wave. So I'm trying to make some arrangements on that path, but keeping the good things about my first album. But well, it takes a lot of time. Sometimes I'm too tired to write or compose, so it's taking more time that I would imagine. But well, I think artistic things don't have to have time. like or schedule or something like that, because it's art. It's not a Google sheet or something like that. It's not a paper you have to fill. But at the same time, I'm making two splits with Bouquet. Uh, just because I told you I can't. That's other thing of from Bouquet. I can do whatever I want because the next Bouquet split will be not of dungeons. It will be another thing.
Nice.
Uh, just because I want to do it that way. With some black books, no, I want to keep it in the same spirit of Dungeon Synth with some neoclassical things and that kind of stuff. But with Bouquet, if tomorrow I want to make pure noise, I will do it because that's well, that's the project to make experimental things or make whatever I want. So yeah, with some black books, I'm planning the next album. With Bouquet, I'm working on two splits, and I'm trying to make the next album. But I think that will be something for the next year because we're already in September and we don't have much time. And today, we confirm a gig, a festival here in
Nice.
Argentina. It will be the second festival of Dungeon Scene, of National Dungeon Scene, because in March or April we had the first. We had Seven Black Books, Silencio Permanente, and Aventir. And was the first time that local dungeon scene projects had a festival or a live gig. We never had that. So well, today we found a place to make another show. It will be in December, and well, it will be the first Bouquet show. So I have to prepare everything. I don't know how we'll do it, but well,
You'll do it.
yeah,
Makes
yeah,
me
yeah.
wish I could be there. I wish I could be there.
You're always welcome here.
Well, thank you, thank you. I'll check with the family and be like, hey, I got to go to Argentina for a little while. I'll be back. I don't see that going over too well. Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you, Alan. Um, Thank you for being my first guest. I really appreciate this. I appreciate you as an artist and as a just a general human being as well. You're very down to earth and you're awesome, and I love your music. So I'm kind of a little
Thank you
bit
so
of a
much.
fanboy moment right here, but
It's okay. It's okay. I really appreciate the space.
no
Um,
problem.
it was a pleasure. I feel really comfortable talking with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, paladins, sorcerers, dwarfs, elves, Lord knows what else is out there. Please, by all means, support Alan with his various projects. Alan, go ahead and tell him again which projects. Seven Black
Seven
Books,
Black Books and Bouquet
and definitely support Arcanium Studios as well. Studio, not studios. Sorry.
Studio. Yeah.
um, Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please like, subscribe. If you are in a project and you'd like to be on the show to talk and shoot the crap with a big bearded tattooed guy, please message me or comment below. And once again, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next quest.